Okay, this will be an example from the Mayan system. The Mayan system uses a base 20 number system, and it uses basically three symbols: a dot for 1 unit, a bar or line, horizontal line for 5 units, and then the Mayans did have a symbol for 0, which was really important. So they were able to represent a 0 in a place value. Theirs is kind of a place value system, except instead of going right to left, it actually goes from bottom on up. So their first place is the ones, and then because it's base 20, it goes to 20. And then depending on where you read, different minds at different times actually modified their system. So you would expect the next place to be 20 times 20 or 400. But many of them used a modified system, and they introduced an 18 times 20. A lot of people speculate it's because their calendar had 18 months and 20 days, so the number 360 was important for them. Even though they knew there were 365 days in a year, they actually added the 5 days there somewhere. But then they keep that 18 in the system, so the next place up, rather than being 20 times 20 times 20, is 18 times 20 squared. So if I want to figure out what number I've got written here in Mayan, I look at each place and I total up the symbols. So I've got 2 dots here, so they each represent 1. So I've got 2 of the first place units, so 2 times 1. And then I've got 2 5s, and these are 1s, so what that, 10, 13, so I've got 13 of those units, so I'll write that down. The next place up, I've got a 5 and 2 1s, so I've got 7 of those. And in this particular number, I showed the next place up, but there isn't anything there. We wouldn't have to record a 0 up there. So basically, I'm kind of done. So I did the grunt work. I took each of these and multiplied it out. So starting at the top here, 18 times 20 is 360, times 7 is 2,520 for that place. The next place is 13 20s, so that's 260. And then finally 2 1s is 2. And if I add that all up, let's see, I did it on the calculator, 2782. So in the Mayan system, this number in our system is 2,782. Okay, so now what I want to show you is how to take a number in our system. I'm using 15,492 as an example, and I want to write it in the Mayan system. Notice that I left this structure over here. This is going to help me. So my first question is, how high up do I need to go in the Mayan system? Well, with 15,000 and this top position that I've got right now is 7,200, I don't need to go any higher than that. So my question is, how many times will 7,200 go into 15,492? And if you do the math there, you'll find out that it'll go 2 times with the remainder. So I know that I need 2 of this very top place value. So in the Mayan system, let's see, I represent that with dots, so I would need 2 dots at that level. Let's see, so now I would take 2 times 7,200. That is 14,400. So I need to subtract that because I've already got it represented. And again, that's because I've got 2 of the 7,200s. When I multiply those two together, I get 14,400. So now I subtract, and I find out that I still need to represent 1,092. So now I come down to the next level. Each one of them is 360. So I have to figure out, well, how many times will 360 go into 1,092? You'll find out that it'll go 3 times with some change. So that next level down, I need to represent 3 of those. Again, in the Mayan system, 3 is represented as 3 dots. So I'll put down 3 dots. And if you take 3 times 360, that's 1,080, right? Yeah, 1,080. So I can knock that off. And you'll notice that I'm already down to 12. So all I need to represent now is 12 more. Well, notice my next level down is 20. So that's telling me that I don't really need any 20s. Luckily in the Mayan system, they've got this clamshell thing for a 0, so I would put a 0 there. All I've got left to represent is 12. To represent 12, instead of 12 dots, they use a bar for 5, so that would be 5, 10, 11, 12. So there's my number, 15,492, written in the Mayan system.